So when you talk about critical race theory, which is pretty much going to be teaching kids how to hate each other, how to dislike each other, that's pretty much, I don't care what it's pretty much what it's going to all come down to. You're going to deliberately teach kids, this white kid right here got it better than you because he white? You're going to purposely tell a white kid, oh, the black people are all down and suppressed. How do I have 2 medical degrees if I'm sitting here oppressed? How do I get 2 medical degrees? No mom, no dad in the house. Worked my way through college. Sat there and hustled my butt off to get through college. You gonna tell me somebody that looked like all y'all white folks kept me from doing that? Are you serious? Not one white person ever came to me and say, well, son, you're never gonna be able to get to work because you know the black people. But guess what? What's sickening about this whole thing is what y'all doing right now is already something I do in my community right now to speak out against stuff, because black folks are getting told by other black folks, oh, you know you ain't gonna be able to do nothing out there in the world because them white folks ain't gonna let you get no, oh, you know you're not gonna be able to do it here because you know the white man gonna keep you down. Well, how did I get where I am right now if some white man kept me down? How am I now directing over folks that look just like you guys in this room right now? How? What kept me down? What oppressed me? I work for myself from off the streets to where I am right now. You gonna sit here and tell me this lie of critical race theory? This the reason why black folks can't get ahead because of white folks? Are you kidding me? This is what we come to now. I can't believe we even talking about this right now.
Modern Renaissance man, how the hell are you, dude?
Doing good. How you fellas doing?
Not bad.
You know, living the dream, man. Living the dream.
Yeah. All right.
You wanted to jump in on the conversation, so I'll just give you a moment to say what you wanted to add. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I've just been listening on the conversation a little bit. I have subscribers that actually are subscribed to you, and what they'll do, they'll talk about certain channels that might be like kind of along the same lines and the same type of topics that I talk about on mine. So what they'll do, they'll say, hey, there's some other channels out there that might be smaller that you might be able to jump on there and we follow this guy. Come over there and check them out. So one of them just pinged me and said, hey, they're talking about some stuff I think that you'll be interested in. So I just jumped on and just kind of listened. I'm like, okay, so yeah, they're talking my stuff. So if you're trying to figure out who I am, I'm the guy that went viral for speaking out against CRT and ended up on like Fox News and Newsmax and the Candace Owens show. And
yeah, when I went over to your stream and I saw you, I'm like, he looks very familiar. And then your voice, you have a very distinct voice.
Yeah, I get that a lot too, man. Gotta push it out there.
I'm imagining you've kept up with all of the stuff, especially going back to defund police and stuff like that. Dude, did you happen to see this article from CNN about we don't really exactly understand why crime is blowing up in Minneapolis?
And it's like, you know, I've been like, since this stuff happened, I'm usually on a ton of speaking engagements, and the reason why it doesn't get broadcast is definitely by CNN or anything like that, because they hate that I come at them with fire. And I would literally call people flat out stupid. Like the crowds I go and speak to, I would flat out say, you have to be absolutely 100% willing to be dumb and stupid to fall into what these folks are saying to you. We have videos after videos after videos showing you guys that these folks going around saying defund the police and they're our biggest issues and blah, 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 blah. Let's defund them. Let's take their funds and reallocate it somewhere else, blah, blah, blah. And then you see police are dropping off, police are retiring, they're going elsewhere. And all of a sudden, we don't understand why the crime is so high in the cities. And I'm sitting there, people like, y'all sat there and jumped on board with these dummies because it felt like it was like the right thing to do. It felt virtuous to get out there and defund the police. And now the neighborhoods and everything is being tore up. Crime is like rampant out of the wazoo, and folks trying to, oh, well, we don't know what caused that. Y'all caused it whenever y'all out there in the streets marching, talking about defund the police. We need to get rid of them. Black Lives Matter want to actually get rid of the whole police justice system, period, talking about leave it to the people. I mean, and here's my thing, though. What makes me so upset is that, especially when a lot of the black communities, I go right to them and say, folks, they're showing you through your actions they don't care about you. You know that in our cities, like I definitely do a lot of stuff around the Chicago's areas, right? And I'm thinking, I tell them, if they get rid of police officers and trying to pretty much defund them and they want to allocate their funds somewhere else and the police them are dropping off, what community y'all think is going to be affected by that the most? The ones in the suburbs are the ones still over there in the projects in the hood.
Exactly.
And, well, now guess what? Now, dude, in Illinois, come January 1st, 2023, their non-detainable offenses is going to include kidnapping, non-detainable offense, kidnapping, intimidation, second-degree murder, non-detainable.
Yeah,
this
stalking,
is coming in,
trespassing.
Dude, absolutely 100% crazy. And then yet at the same time, these dummies still put the same person here. So they get upset because I come at them and I'm like, y'all asked for this. You guys want the criminals there. Y'all want the rapists there. Y'all want the child molesters there. Y'all want the kidnappers there. Y'all want the gang violence there. Y'all want to shoot them up on any corner. Y'all want that there. Why do we want that? Because y'all keep voting for the people that's putting it out there. It's amazing to me that they pretty much are telling black people, hey, we want to kill y'all.
Yes.
That's pretty much what they're saying. We want to kill y'all.
You're talking about usually when in the places where this happened, this didn't happen. I live in the middle of frickin' nowhere, dude. Mm-hmm. There were no BLM protests here. There's no people here. This is happening in cities. And usually where it's happening is in inner cities. And they're like, we need to get rid of police. And even before the movement had a big takeoff, the polls were saying that the people who live in these communities are like, hell no, we do not want to get rid of the police. It's people living in the burbs going, yeah, we need to get rid of the police because they're hurting those people over there. And it's this form of we're going to take care. I hate white liberals. I really do. I'm sorry. Dude. Because we're going to take care of you. No, you're not, because all of your nonsense ends up harming people. You might have the best intentions overall. Sometimes police can be bad. You're right. Sometimes. But overall, when you're getting to a point where you had 900 police, now you have 540, and drug dealers are dealing on the street in open day at gas stations.
Man,
who got hurt with that?
This is the white man's burden, the white savior complex from like the 1800s. Oh, you need us to lift you up. That they're making people afraid so that they'll be dependent. Same thing with like every other time they've cut a program somewhere that was helping. That they don't give a shit about actual people's lives. They care about their personal power.
Yep.
People like Lori Lightfoot are despicable. She can't admit that there's a problem.
No. Because if you do something like that, you will have to take accountability for it. I mean, McDonald's talking about moving their headquarters and everything out of there. The Chicago Bears moving out of there, but it's not because of crime. But yet the Chicago Bears them saying it's because of crime. McDonald's saying it's because of crime. And then she turns around and say, well, they need to educate themselves. On what? How to be safe?
Oh my God. I can't believe she said that about the McDonald's CEO. What the fuck are you talking about, lady?
Wait, back up, guys. I don't know this story. What did she say about McDonald's? Yeah, I missed this.
She said that the CEO needs to go and educate himself because the CEO said we're going to be pulling McDonald's out of Chicago because people, for one, they can't hire anybody because nobody wants to work for McDonald's because they're too scared, or they're tired of being robbed and mugged and being carjacked, or because the fact that people will come in there, ransack McDonald's and throw stuff at the employees and they have no protection, so they can't hire anybody. So McDonald's like, people are not being hired on and we're losing business because of crime. And she's saying, no, it's not. You need to educate yourself. CEO of McDonald's, you obviously are stupid and don't know anything about business. I mean,
what does she think is happening then? That they're just not making enough on Big Macs in Chicago?
Well, it's not just the franchisees, Monkey. It's all the way up to the corporate level, too.
Sure.
Corporate headquarters is there. They're talking about leaving Chicago. If enough big companies like McDonald's leave Chicago, it's going to turn into Detroit.
Bro, it's on its way there. And I just told him, I really, honestly, I hope they do. I really hope they do, just to teach them a freaking lesson. And what's crazy is that I still turn around and tell these folks that are flat out dumb, y'all will still get behind this woman and defend that, all because they give them things. So on my degree, one of my 2 degrees is in medicine, right? And one of the things we did, especially my degree in physical therapy, when we are treating patients, I always give this analogy. When we are treating patients, if a patient comes in and have an ailment to where they has a disability where they can't hardly walk, our job is to get them walking again, right? Right. So what we do, we give them what we call the least restrictive device, right? So we start them off with a walker. If they get better using that walker as they are progressing with walking, we actually downgrade them. We downgrade them to what we call like a Hemi walker. If they get better with the Hemi walker, we downgrade them to a quad cane. They get better with a quad cane, we downgrade them to a single point cane. They get better with single point cane, they're walking with nothing. Our goal is to get them independent, not relying on any of those assisted devices. And I tell people what they keep doing to y'all, what they keep doing to the black community especially, they keep on giving you a restrictive device. Notice I said restrictive. It's restricting you. If I keep on giving you this device, you will never be independent. And that's what they do. They just keep on incentivizing everything. Give them this, give them that, give them that. And then black people stand around, we can't get nowhere. We the most disserved because y'all keep on taking the dang on walkers and stuff they keep giving y'all. Y'all not trying to be independent. Y'all saying it with y'all mouths, but with y'all actions, y'all not, because y'all keep on voting for these folks that just keep on giving y'all stuff. And they still just a lot of them will catch on to it, but a lot of them don't. But what has happened with that is that whenever I do go speak, news medias are there. But as soon as I hit on stuff I'm talking about right now, oh yeah, they edit that out. That doesn't make it on news. That it doesn't make it at all.
Of course.
Well,
you have the wrong pigmentation for that kind of talk, my friend.
Oh, absolutely. And then y'all can't. I mean, if you white, you can't say nothing either, because then you're gonna be called a racist.
Indeed.
Every time.
Real quick, isn't Chicago brought to us in part by Subway? Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Yes.
Well, that's MAGA country.
That's MAGA country. Got to be careful around there.
The free stuff is a huge problem, because that creates an addiction. You know, it's addictive to get. You don't have to achieve more if you're constantly know you're secure in a specific level. You know, there's really no incentive to try harder. And I think that's very, very damaging to any community, because it really does act like an addiction then. Because I'm pretty comfortable at this. I can survive. My bills are getting paid. You're not thriving, but you're also not borderline homeless. You're just existing. You're
dependent on them because of those. You know, see those walkers. Some of the patients, we have to really encourage them to move on to from the walker to. We have to really encourage them because they feel safe. I feel safe with this, but it's like, but yeah, you might feel safe, but at the same time, we know that in therapy, the longer you stay with it, actually, the more disabled you will become, because your muscles that you would use if you were independent, they will become weak, because now everything is relying on this walker. You don't have to use your legs as much. You don't have to use your core as much. You don't have to use your arm as much. So then what ends up happening, you actually become more disabled. And one thing I tell them, the same thing we do in therapy, if we're not able to progress anybody and there's no progress, we have to discharge them. And so I do that with people when I go around and speak, and folks that I get on and email me. If I see that you are not trying to progress, I cut them off. I've been doing this for too long, man. I don't care if you're black, white. If I see that all you keep on doing is giving me an excuse of why you can't progress, I'm done. I mean, I don't hate you. I love you, but I got to move on to people that actually want to do better for themselves. Otherwise, nope, can't waste my time.
Well, they become like an albatross on your neck. It's all dead weight. And they're going to drag you down to their level. Who was it? I think it was Steve Harvey, of all people, that said the people that are with you now are not the people that are going to go up with you, because there are some people that just don't want to improve. No. And until they do, they're going to drag you down to their level constantly. And that's no way for anybody to achieve anything. And it also prevents you from having anything to pass down to your family. You can't build generational wealth if you're just at the same level all the time.
Well, has anybody ever built generational wealth off of welfare and food stamps? I mean,
no, it's not possible.
They got generational other recipients that's going to be on there, teach them how to do it. Because I mean, to be honest with you, I told you, I don't have no problem talking about it. We grew up in the projects in the hood, and they already showed us how to pimp them system. You know, you can have it to where a mother with her, you know, it could be a single, most likely blacks, single mother with children. And what they would do when they hit the random age 17 or 18, they'll say, hey, what we're going to do, we're going to actually start having your mail go to your grandma's house. So if I have your mail going to your grandma's house and make it seem like you live with your grandma, you can get food stamps as well while still living in the house with mom. You see what I'm saying? So now if mom is already getting $600-700 something dollars, well, now right in today's world, they probably getting about $900 to $1,300 with her 3 or 4 kids. Now, when that other one hits 17, 18, she don't get it for him no more. But if he claims that he lives with grandma at this other address, he gets $200-300 a month himself while living with grandma, even though he's physically living with his mom. So she's still getting her $800-900 while he's getting this extra $300. And they see the bad part about that is that when they teach you that as a child, you don't question it. It's no different when your parents teach you how to brush your teeth. You just think that that's a part of life. So when you get older, you don't aspire to do nothing more because you figure that this is the way that I'm supposed to live. So I wasn't never told to go and get a job. I wasn't never told to try to go to college. That stuff wasn't even a part of the conversation. It was more of, when you get here, this is what you do. And then they're going to give you this. And then they're going to give you the Medicare, they're going to give you Medicaid. You're going to get the Medicaid card. And you don't have to really work, because now we're going to sign you up. You're going to be on Section 8. and they're going to pay for their rent. So then it's almost like, why would I try to go out there and work when I'm basically living for free? That's what they do.
In my area, I think and I'm not joking, maybe there's 3 black families that live up here in the middle of nowhere, Michigan, where I'm at. I see this in white trailer parks.
Yep.
I see this. I mean, it's the exact same thing. The difference is that part doesn't get talked about because all of this that we see in inner cities, I mean, that also leads to crime waves. Because we do know that lack of money, depressed financial areas, crime is higher. And you know a good way to have depressed financial areas? Put a bunch of poor people all in one spot.
Yep.
Especially with learned dependence like that.
Yeah.
If you don't get what you think you're owed, you're going to feel like you're being cheated.
And then come along and say, we're going to get rid of the police, which, by the way, I just want to point out again, they've now started denying they ever did. We never said that. What are you talking about?
What's video?
Exactly.
No, we ain't say that. What we said
no, it was the Republicans. They turned around. No, the Republicans actually are the ones that said defund it. It's like, dude, that's what I'm saying. You can sit there and show people videos like, look, I think somebody said, now because of the stuff that happened with me, Newsmax, Fox News, all these news outlets would send me things and say, hey, I think this would be a good topic to talk about on your channel. And they gave me a video that I might do some things on it with it tomorrow. It's a 6-minute long video of all these people on the left saying defund the police and defund the police, abolish the police, get rid of they're all saying this, but then yet now they're saying, oh, it wasn't us, it was Republicans that said it. So you can show people the video of these folks saying it. And some of these, I call them the snow cone color hair social justice warrior crew. They will turn around and just, no, that's not what they meant when they said, dude, I'm like, okay, I'm done with y'all. Y'all stupid. Y'all are flat. Y'all are dumb. Like
they tried pulling that whole, that's not what we meant when we said defund, going back, probably coming out of the summer of 2020. They started to try to change it because defund is a stupid thing and they know it. Like, no, all we meant was lower it a little bit. Okay, let's say that is all you meant. So then, just using Minneapolis again as the example, 900 police at the start of 2020. How much do you want to defund that? 10%? Bring it down to 810 cops? That's still 90 less police officers on the street. Who does that hurt? Those 90 police officers, as you pointed out earlier, they're not roaming the streets of the suburbs. They were doing, patrols in bad neighborhoods.
Exactly. And you know what? What's sad about that, man, is that growing up as a kid, and like I said, this is because I'm really passionate about this, as y'all can see. I go in there and I let these people know, I tell them, how is it that lions, that's my favorite animal, lions. How is it that lions, generation after generation after generation of lions, how do they know what to do? They don't speak English. You know what I mean? They don't get down. They don't sit there and the female says to her female cubs like, hey, mommy, your mom and your aunts, we do all the honey. And then you don't see the male lion talking to his male cub going, I'm the one that goes around and market territory. I'm the one to make sure that nothing comes into. How do they know what role to play? They do it based off of watching. So the reason why I'm saying that is because we were taught to hate the police without even knowing it as kids. Like I said, I talk about this openly. My family are some of the biggest drug kingpins in Chicago. You will never know who they are by name because some of us had the names of our mothers. Some of us got the last names of our fathers, blah, blah, blah. So you would never know who's related, right? So I'm saying that because when we were younger, police would ride down the street, right? My uncles then would, man, what the y'all coming down here for? Well, y'all, man, we ain't even doing that, man. Y'all motherfuckers always ride down here trying to see what we doing. And the police then were just patrolling, right? That's all they were doing. But as a little kid, we see our uncles and our older cousins responding to the police. So here we are, we walking from school, police riding down the street. Man, what y'all coming down the street for? We ain't even doing nothing. It's like the police looking at us like, what the heck is wrong with these little kids? But that's what I'm saying. The hatred for the police started at a younger age, not because they told us to hate the police, but because based off of what we seen them doing and how they reacted when the police was just patrolling, we figured that's what you're supposed to do when you see the black and white. Then calling them pigs and everything, and police not even doing anything but just trying to make sure that the stuff that I hated seeing, like people getting murdered, people getting killed, people getting raped in our face, men beating the crap out of women. They're just trying to make sure that this stuff wasn't going on. But we weren't told that. We were just showed how to hate the police.
Here's an example I like to give. It's a true story. I'm disabled. I have a damaged spinal cord, causes pain constantly, which often has me walking kind of funny. My oldest granddaughter, when she first started walking, she's walking across the floor in this weird hunched over way, and they're filming her. Go, what is she doing? She's walking like grandpa. She wasn't taught to walk that way. She just saw that's how grandpa walked, so that's what she was doing. We learn so much just by watching.
Yes.
And a lot of that is ignored when it comes to any of this. Let me get a donation here real quick. Thank you, Dark Resurrect, coming through with that feminist $12. Remember, the feminists tell us for $12, I never have to shut down my site. When I first got married, my wife was on food stamps in Section 8 due to her mother being fully disabled. Now we're in a luxury apartment and her mother has her disability. All I heard from her was, I want off the government bill. People are different. Some people lean into the safety net as a hammock, and other people are like, yeah, I want to get out of this and get better in life. It just depends on, I know people who, I was talking about this the other night when Michigan passed the Welfare to Work Act. Somebody I know, they were like, why should I have to work? Look, because you're an able-bodied adult, you lazy bastard. Why should I have to work? Because you have kids. Take care of your damn kids.
Responsibility sounds hard.
I mean, that's what I said. That's the part that really amazes me with it, because you also got to think about how in the world did they actually arrive in their mind to that conclusion to even think that, like,
right?
Why do I have to? Like, what was done? I get it if you was somebody like in Queen Elizabeth's lineage or something like that. I get that. But you came up like in either lower class or whatever like that, and all of a sudden, what gave you the mindset to make you say that? And they showed a thing on someone sent me to a video of a man who was a white guy and a white lady. They were both in court, and she was getting her child. Well, he was going there, and the child support was being lowered. And they talked about how much he was paying for child support. And then the judge asked the woman, like, man, well, what do you do? She's like, I don't do anything. She's like, do you work? The lady's like, no. And she was like, so how are you paying your bills? She's like, well, I stay with my parents. And she's like, wait, you stay with your parents? The lady's like, yeah. She's like, oh, excuse me, I stay in my parents' home and the home is paid for. So the judge's like, so wait a minute, you don't pay no bills or anything? The lady's like, no. She's like, well, how are you affording like the power? She's like, well, because of his child support check. It was like, oh, no, we can't really. Right. So then the lady got at the judge and said, well, wait a minute, why do I have to work? How come? I was just like, this cannot be for real. Even the judge was just like.
But we kind of have that mentality going on in society right now with a whole bunch of people. We've seen stories coming out about millennials and Gen Z with the COVID thing, and now they're having to go back to work. And like, well, we really don't want to have to go back to work. I don't care. You're an adult. Get your ass out there and be productive. And they're, no, it's we shouldn't have to do that. And it's a thing that's growing in our society with that, where no, I shouldn't have to do something I don't want to. Read a story the other day about a chick who she said that she had to do things she didn't want to do. And she was talking about having a job, just having a job. I had to do things I didn't want to do. I've had jobs I didn't like, but I also had 3 kids and a wife I had to support.
Absolutely, man. And that's one of the things it irks me. Like, I have 2 sons, 20 years old and 18 years old. He just got done graduating this year. And one thing I never let my sons do.
I got to stop you real quick. You have a 20-year-old?
Here it comes.
You have a 20-year-old?
Yep.
Wow.
20
Damn,
and
dude.
18.
Were you like 10?
I think 8.5 or something.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. You look really young. I
get that all the time.
Like 28 at max. All right.
You ought to see it when me and my sons them are out. We always get it all the time. They say, you guys are brothers, and between me and my oldest son, they always flip flop. Like, which one of you guys are the oldest between the 2 of you, though?
Wow.
Yeah, brothers. My wife hates it, but
why? She's dating a younger man.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I am younger than her. I'm about 7 years younger than her.
Nice.
But still, damn. All right.
Yeah, but I just think one of the things I never let them do, I never let them whine. So when I go to these events, one thing I cannot stand out of kids is whining, and it's even worse if I'm hearing this in adults. So again, back to the snow cone color hair, social justice warrior crew. When I hear them out there just doing all, and that's what actually made me go viral at the school board meeting, is because I wasn't even going to go there. I didn't know about it, but my son attended at school. And there's a lot of people that know that I do a lot of public speaking. And they were like, hey, they're going to be discussing critical race theory. They're thinking about bringing it to the school that your son goes to. So, would you be interested in coming there? First, I was kind of like, no, if I'm out, I'm a director of a facility. So I was thinking like, well, if I get time, I'll drop by there. So I just happened just to want to go and drop by there. Okay. Went in there, dude. All these white people were getting up dude, it was so cringy. It's our fault why the black people are so disenfranchised. It's because of us. It's in our DNA. We have a white privilege and our forefathers that is in our DNA. And they start saying all these issues of why black people were in the conditions that they are in certain communities, right? And I promise you, I looked around like there was not one black person in there at all, but me. So it was like, I mean, because I was so in tune with everybody saying, I knew that I made sure that I was going to speak after everybody got done saying what they were going to say. And they all started talking about how we need to implement diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then we need to make sure we talk about critical race theory because it is the reason why the black people, and dude, that's when by that time my leg is shaking. I'm like, I couldn't wait to get up there and explode on these people. And when I got done, not one person had anything to say. They showed little clips and all that of what I did on Fox News because they just really wanted to kind of hit home of what drew the most attention. But when I got done, I said, all of you that are up here right now that just got done doing all this, we need to help them. I said, right now, I go almost every weekend. I said, I can take you guys to an area in what we call Decatur, Illinois, where I go to a community center and there's kids there that got, they from single parent homes. Mom is either semi-raising them or they stay with grandma who has a 4th grade education. She really don't know what to do with them. I said, I can take you guys there. And I want you guys to go there and ask those kids if it's any type of white person that they're scared of. If it's any type of white person that's preventing them from doing anything. If it is something out there called systemic racism that's keeping them from doing things like what I achieved. I asked them, would any of y'all be willing to go with me and go to these centers? How many of y'all think volunteered to go?
Oh, none.
Not one. But all y'all up there doing this, it's our fault. We need to help them. And we need to. I was like, shut up. Y'all just fake virtue signaling. That's why I exploded them, because I see through the BS. Y'all just doing it to make yourselves look good in front of people. Y'all want everybody to, oh, get the snaps. Get the snap. That doesn't do nothing if you're not putting your foot out there and actually literally doing something in there. But then also they would have to face the fact that black people in the hood will flat out say, man, no, ain't no white person keeping me from doing anything. No. They would tell them all that. They would tell them it all day long. But black organizations that want to be part of this whole rhetoric, they'll jump on board and say, in our communities, and no, y'all not a part of that. Don't do that. They're not.
Yeah, there's a lot of money to be grifted that way.
Oh,
though.
God, yeah. Let me ask you something. Given the age of your son, I'm guessing you're at least near the age of me and Jack here. I'm 47. I'm open about how old I am. He's 48.
I'm a 16-year-old hitchhiker.
Shut the hell up.
I'm 40 years old on the nose.
So you are around the same generation of us. You're a little bit younger. I have long maintained that somewhere around the 90s, this shit started getting worse. Growing up in the 80s and stuff, there was a lot less of this. You had some of it like inner city, especially Compton, became a big flashpoint. With movies like Colors and stuff like that.
Well,
but ever since then,
corrupt shithole.
Well, yeah, I mean, inner cities, man, and it doesn't matter which inner city it is, and any metropolis is going to have that areas where they just throw poor people and grift off them. They really do. It's like we're gonna help them. We're gonna have this big ass charity event. We're not giving any of the money to them, by the way.
Absolutely not.
It's going to my campaign. Is where it's going.
Yep.
But ever since then, we've seen the growth of the basically the race warrior. And it's not the old style race warrior. It's not the old Black Panthers. It's, in my view, especially right now, liberal white ladies. And the more they help, the worse things seem to get.
Well, it's like every time Al Sharpton shows up, shit's going to go sideways real fast.
Oh, man, big time. You know what? As a kid, I didn't even know who these guys were. but I didn't receive I was, like I said, I'm 11, 12 years old, and we pretty much came from a no parent home, and I didn't know. I only went to school because school provided me with some food. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It provided me with breakfast. It provided me with lunch, and sometimes they actually gave out like these meals to take home from the stuff that was left over for lunch. I would go around and ask all the different kids in school, like during lunch, I would ask them if they're going to eat their apple or if they're going to drink their milk. And they all thought because I was this great athlete that I was doing it for health. I have no idea. No, I was doing it because that's all I was going to have to eat when I went home.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Man, no, it was crazy. Me and my brothers, we were going around picking cans and everything, turning it in for money just so we can go buy like a half stick of bologna and some bread to have something to eat. We did that like every day, cleaning the town up. You know what I mean? So I look at this and I say to myself, like, for me to be able to go through that at that time and what these kids have now, dude, I don't give them no excuse, man. And I'm hard. Like I was hard on my sons and like my kids that I have right now. I call them my kids, the ones that I mentor. They cannot give me no excuse. You guys have, I didn't have no internet. You know what I mean? Y'all got phones and y'all got computers in your hand. And there's no way y'all should be making anything less than a B. There's people online teaching y'all how to do it.
Right.
We didn't have to go to a library or go to tutoring or something.
Yeah. We all had to figure out how that stupid card catalog
worked. Yeah.
God, man, I'm telling you, she come there and they go to the Rolodex and go to the card catalog. And, they can just do it right here, right now.
Half the time it wasn't in order. Somebody pulled the card out. Yeah, fucking nightmare. But now you can just look shit up on your phone in like 10 seconds.
And even if you figured out the system, half the time the book wasn't there.
Yeah, it was misshelved or somebody had taken it. Then you're screwed.
Yes.
Research was a nightmare.
Let me get this real quick. Snubber, thank you. Champaign County native here. You have my sympathy, MRM. Decatur is a different place than 25 years ago.
God, yes. I just recently moved back towards the central Illinois area about a good year and a half ago, and I just recently been going when I got out of Decatur, I haven't been back in 20 some odd years, and I just recently started kind of going back and forth a little bit just as of within the last month, and it's because I got inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame, and I went there to accept that and all that, whatever, and now also because of that, they're like, okay. You came out of here. They're like, you that dude that's in the display in the high school, that's you? I'm like, yes. You came from Decatur? Yes. And they're like, well, how did you? That's what I'm trying to do. So now Decatur is part of that now. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
This is one of the things that really pisses me off about how the world has changed. I remember when I was a kid, they would always do these stories, these inspirational stories, like at the end of news things, like this guy, he's the first of his line to go to college. He had 3 jobs. He worked 2 night jobs just to make sure he could pay his way through. And look how well he's doing now. And now they're like, wait, I have to have 1 job? I mean, it used to be a source of pride that you would work as hard as you could to get to what you wanted.
Yes.
And now it's like, oh, he had to work. That's so horrible for him.
Yes. And now, and again, I told them, I'm like, bull crap. I don't care what y'all say, because when I got out, my wife had already graduated from college. I was graduating from high school, and I graduated from high school. I graduated high school in 2001. I had just finished winning the state track meet, and in May, and I was married to my wife in June. And people like, dude, you was a high school. Well, you know what? A lot of us, the streets mature us really fast. It just does, And so through college, going through a medical program, I went to school from 7 a.m. to noon. And then we had a break from 12 to 1. I went to track practice from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And then from 3:30 to 11 o'clock, I worked at a furniture store. I would get home, my son, my firstborn, my wife, they got baby sleep crazy hours. She needed her sleep. She was tired. I would come home at 11 o'clock. I would put my son on my legs. I would lay on my back. We call it hook line. I would lay on my back, my knees up like this. I would put my son on my legs. I would have a medical book right there studying while rocking my son with my legs. I did that for 4 years. And I'm like, so if I'm able to, and my wife didn't work. So if I'm able to sit there and do that while being a full-time student with 21 credit hours in school, and y'all telling me y'all can't do it because of what? That's what I'm saying. So now I'm like, I'm not buying it. The reason why you can't do it is because you don't want to do it. And if you don't want to work for it, then stay in the freaking ghetto with the roaches and the mice and all this. I don't care. Stay there because you're choosing to do it. Nobody is making you do it. You are choosing to stay in the ghetto, in the projects, in the trailer park, based off of your actions. Plain and simple. Well, no, man, I can't. No, nope. See, I'm done. Bye. Nope. I don't want to hear it. That's what I do to them. I'm not wasting my time.
And we used to have a thing where it was trying to get better, try to get better, try to get better. And now it's like, you're perfect how you are. No, a whole lot of people need to grow the hell up, first of all. You have 25-year-olds who, oh my God, did you guys see the video of the chick freaking out at Walmart?
Calm down, I can't be fucking touched.
I didn't touch you,
I
man.
was raped not that long ago and I can't stand another man touching me.
Well, no one did that.
I just can't.
Is this a prank?
I can't. He won't go away. He
You're
needs to go away. He's the fucking problem.
I need to leave?
No, just welcome. We'll take you to
I still got, okay. She threw some of my stuff.
Okay, you know, just where's your stuff?
Hell if I know. I'm so sorry.
You're not sorry.
She wasn't sorry when she cut in line and then
You!
screamed
I didn't see you.
to make it. I just asked her if she saw
Just
anyone
leave.
in line.
Just fucking leave. Just go.
That's an
Leave.
adult.
You're making it loud.
Let's just walk up
I'm
to
just
her.
talking.
Walk up to her. Walk with Chris. Walk with Chris.
Just to calm everything down.
Yes.
Dude, oh my God. See,
Fuck.
Yeah, that is the type of crap
woo!
that's civilization destruction.
I don't care what that chick would have did. I would have told those Walmart people, y'all can take her over there and let her scream. She cut in front of me. I'm staying in this line. She can scream all she wants to. She tried to throw it in there. I was raped. Okay, we'll go over there and tell them how you were raped, but you still cut in front of me, and I would like to have my spot back. But they're telling him, sir, can you just no, I won't. No. She can go over there and scream. That's some.
I
Real
will
quick.
pull forward at a McDonald's drive-thru when they're like, "Can you go over there and park?" No, I'll stand there and get my food. I'm sure as shit not giving up my spot at Walmart. That bitch can go to hell.
Let's explain that real quick, but let me get this from T. Ryan. Thank you. I worked for this money. Now it's a gift because I like you. That's how this works. I am so sick of people complaining about work. My job is not my hobby, but I do my hobbies because I work. Fair. And thank you for that. I appreciate it. Did you have some, Jack?
No.
Okay.
No, nobody loves me like they love you guys. I'm just so tired of this sense of entitlement. That girl at Walmart is a great encapsulation of everything that's wrong with society. You think you could sit there and just dump out your purse of all your personal issues and then you get a free pass for doing something wrong. And how much longer are normal people going to put up with that shit?
I want to explain to the audience because my internet is running crap tonight, so I can't show the video, guys. But this woman in Walmart cuts off this guy at the self-checkout lanes, and the video starts with her throwing a fit. She is throwing an absolute fit because I don't want to get touched by any men. And there's no example of him touching her whatsoever, but she cut in line. And he simply asked her, hey, did you see the line of people here? And she starts throwing a goddamn, screaming at the top of her lungs about, she says, I was raped and it wasn't that long ago. Was it here? Are you being raped because somebody asked you about getting in line? And what really pissed me off about it was I saw a tweet where somebody said, you should not be recording somebody having a mental break. She wasn't having a mental break. She was throwing a temper tantrum.
Yes.
A much different thing.
And thank you, T. Ryan, who says, I love you too, Jack.
There it is. Yeah, I mean, when you said them being able to do that, you know why? Because there's individuals like myself who they're not going to show. Somebody check them on that stuff. That's why I tell people like right now, dude, I go around and I let people know, and I flat out say, especially when a lot of my audience, it's a mixed audience, but a majority of them are white people there. And I let them know, if you are going around, and I say, a lot of people tell me this, I say, so when I get done speaking, please don't come up to me and say nothing about this, because I'm gonna let y'all know right from the jump. Don't come to me and say anything like, well, I feel like I can't say it because I'm walking on eggshells. You know what? Then you've been deceived into exactly where they want you to be. If you have this so-called thing to where you feel like you can't say nothing because you don't want nobody to call you a racist or call you prejudiced or you actually have fallen victim to exactly where they want you to be. They want you to be telling, and I have t-shirts that go that out that says truth knows no color. You shouldn't be afraid to tell nobody the truth. and be afraid they're going to call you racist. I said, because I'm not scared of black community calling me an Uncle Tom or a portion nigga or a house nigga or a bootleg. I'm not afraid of that. I'm still going to tell you the truth. You can say all the names all you want to. I'm still going to tell you the truth. So I tell white folks, I'm like, man, y'all, I'll get pissed off if y'all sit there and tell me, well, you know, I'm not going to say much because I don't want to be called. You fell victim to the stuff now. That's exactly where they want you. So technically, you are the one that's being oppressed. They oppress your speech. They're oppressing your thought. They're oppressing your opinion because you don't want to feel like don't stop it. I tell them, stop.
Well,
and that's what they want you to do. They want you to feel what they call white guilt. What the heck is white guilt?
Well, frankly, in that position, I don't want to say that because I don't want to be seen as racist. Well, that's kind of racist because if you would say that to a white person, but you won't to a black person because it might offend them because of their color, that's racist. And it is what the whole white guilt thing is built on. It is built on racism. You can't say that to a black person. Why? They're just, I always say this. The important part of black person is person. Guys, black people, just people. They're just people.
That's it. That's it.
He's got a better tan than I do. That's
yes,
it.
exactly. But this side right here matches yours, though.
It really does. It really does.
That's one part that we can't get. I pointed at the sun for a long time, but I can't get this side to match this side for some reason.
Won't do it.
Nope. But no, that's the biggest thing, though. It's like that's one of my biggest things when I go around and do this because a lot of folks, they'll come up to me afterwards and be like, you know what you just got done saying, I just realized I was a victim of that because I kept my mouth closed. There was many times where I wanted to speak my opinion, but I didn't say it because I was afraid I would be called that. I said, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what they want. And that's why, and again, you guys are the ones that are being oppressed. I told black people, and I say this to them, I said, talk about the things that y'all hated that white people did to black people back during, pre-civil rights movement. They'll name off all these things that white people did to black people. I was like, now, let me show y'all what black people doing to white people today. So what makes y'all different than them? Exactly. See, y'all, the thing is, black people collectively as a culture are very emotional driven. And I tell them, y'all can be, that's why the Democrats play the same games on y'all. They're going to control you through fear and anger. If I can get you angry, I can control you. If I can get you fearful, I can control you. Like this dummy on MSNBC that came out and said, if the Republicans make a good move during the midterms, black people might not be able to vote ever again.
Right.
And then black people, we got to get out there. So what I did, dude, I have a radio station too, by the way. And what I did, I got on my show and I sat there, dude. And I make people pissed off because I'll sit there and I'll go like this now. Well, you know what? We must get out there and tell those Republicans we not gonna sit there and take no more. They take away our votes. We not gonna let them do that to us. We have to come together because they take away. We not let them do that for what our ancestors fought for. We can't let them. Then I'm sitting there like dummies. Who are the ones that actually fought for black people to vote? Was that Republican Democrats? So wait a minute. I'm getting okay. So then when people think black, I'm being honest. A lot of that's what I'm saying. It's insulting because the fact that they can say that to black people, they expect black people not to even know it. So they saying you're ignorant. Yeah. You ignorant black Negroes, y'all don't know that the Republicans are the ones that fought to free y'all. Y'all don't know the Republicans are the ones that fought for y'all to vote. But yet we can tell y'all, hey, the Republicans, if they get their way, they're going to suppress y'all vote. Wait, so the white people who were willing to kill other white people to free black people now don't want black people voting? So then they look at me, well, we didn't know that. I know y'all didn't know that because these people are relying on y'all just to believe what they say because they know that culturally you will respond out of anger. And if you respond out of anger, you can easily be controlled.
Another great example of that is with the abortion debate that came down from the Supreme Court and Thomas's opinion on that. And like, with Thomas's opinion, they're going to get rid of interracial voting. The black guy married to the white woman wants to get rid of interracial marriage.
I don't trust people that tell me that I don't know where the DMV is.
Well, that's fair too.
Dude, y'all should see my video on that I did with the DMV deal. Oh man, I also do comedic things too. I'm pretty y'all can figure that out too. But I did a video. I might be able to give you. I don't know. You said your internet's messing up though, but I did a video pretty much showing like I showed Joe Biden saying, they don't know how to use the internet, and whatever he said.
Oh yes.
And I showed like a black guy. I got monkey sounds, and this guy's like going around like a monkey, and he's sitting there with a laptop. And he can't figure out how to open the laptop. He's sniffing the laptop, and then he opens the laptop. When it opens up, he jumps back like You know,
I've seen that. That's a great video.
yes, I died off that. Then I did another video where I'm playing all these different characters that are coming up and trying to figure out how to get to the DMV. And I mean, and what's sad about it, YouTube hated it. Like they tried to demonetize it. They tried to sit there and say I was being racist. I said, wait a minute, the AI did is what they said. Oh, because I ended up hitting them back. Like, y'all do know that every last one of those black people in that video, that was me. I had a wig on one of them, I had a wig with glasses on. I had a different voice I was using. All those black people in that video was me. Did y'all even look at my channel and realize that this channel was a black man with the channel? They thought my channel was a white dude making fun of black people and said that was hate speech and hate this and showing racism. I'm like, so I'm being racist against myself? Then they try to turn around and backtrack and say, oh, well, our AI is just made to pick up on certain things. No, stop lying. Y'all busted.
Dude, we had a problem here because my name is Ranting Monkey, which the monkey part comes from my mom calling us monkeys as children. You three little monkeys. Stop it. But that's where it came from. And for a while, people in my chat could not use my name. It was blocked because YouTube apparently thinks monkey means black.
Well, I mean, it's safe.
And don't you think that that's actually racist of them?
It is. Yes, it absolutely is.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like YouTube. So that's what comes to y'all mind when you hear monkey?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with orcs now in
oh God, yes,
Dragons. But
oh my God.
Real quick, thank you, Frosted Glass. Says I don't want people to think I'm some hypocritical douche like those lefties at the school board meeting, pretending to care about black people but not doing anything. That's why I promised myself I would never claim to care about black people.
Jesus Christ.
Frosted, why do you make me read this shit?
Frosted, I love you, but you're an asshole.
I love
he's right. There's a part, there's an honesty to that. You know, everybody running around, I care so much. Well, what do? Well, I care.
Well, caring is a lot of energy and work. I don't know what that means anymore. Like, I'm caring. You're a monster. I'm doing the work. What the fuck is the work?
Exactly. It doesn't mean they say it with their mouths. They think they did something because they went out there and marched with some black people. You didn't do anything. I was like, okay, can you tell me what black person that you actually helped in the last month? Like, matter of fact, can you tell me what black person you helped within the last 2 years that you physically either gave them some money or you paid a bill for them or you gave them a ride somewhere? Well, you know, at the time, well, shut up. Don't stop it. Right. We have some, a lot of people in my neighborhood area know about me. And I have a neighbor that has a Black Lives Matter sign in their window, right? Check this out. The window is pointing right towards my house. And on my neighbor next door, on my left side of me is a black neighbor. Neighbor on the other side of me is they're white. You know, we have a very mixed neighborhood. But anyway, I work out in my area. I'll jog. I run past these two people all the time. Not once in a year and a half have either one of them ever was like, hey, how you doing? But they got Black Lives Matter up there in their window. Not one time. And not only that, I'll give you another one. While I'm jogging, they step up to the...
Of course. Cross the street.
Like, I know my wife teased me though. She go, Ty, no, they just moving out your way because you're jogging down the sidewalk. I said, no, but I do that. I smile and I just wait to see if they don't even look at me, but they got the Black Lives Matter sign up there in the window. That's what I said. So one time, but what I did do, I broke it. I just went and I stopped a little bit. You guys stay such, right? Yeah. I said, y'all stay right across the street from me. And it don't, you know it. Don't just stop it. Oh, I just want to say my name is Ty. Moving on. That's all. So I let them kind of know, like, you know, we know each other. Y'all see me all the time. Don't fake it. But you got the Black Lives Matter sign up there. Don't worry. Nobody's going to come there and trash your house or nothing like that. We stay in a very nice area. So don't worry about it. We won't send Tyrone and Pookie them.
You should pull a Hotep Jesus and just show up at their house and be like, I'm here for my free shit.
Exactly. I want my reparations. Matter of fact, let me get that car. Like, just let me get that little Honda, Honda Turbo. Let me get that.
Sorry, y'all. I didn't see your sign. I didn't realize you had a talisman against black people here.
Yeah,
exactly. Not gonna do. You know what? I seen y'all sign up there in the window. You know what? We do, man. No, matter of fact, that account of y'all mind giving me about a good whatever y'all got in your account? Just give me 10% of it. Y'all owe it to me anyway, since it's in your blood. And your forefathers never gave it to me, so I figure you should be. Yeah. See how that goes.
Yeah. Oh man. A few things bother me more than hypocrites, and it is amazing some of the people that come out. There was a who was it, a CEO the other day who came out and like, I'm only here because of my white privilege. Well, step down, bitch, and give that spot to somebody who is of color.
Let's see how that works.
I'm not going to do that.
Right, and then you know, it can be really insulting. Like I told them, I said, you know, when I was a treating clinician before I was applying to be a director, I said, you know, I applied to be one, and they told me, you know, you're a great guy, you're very articulate, you definitely got big time, huge leader qualities. But they said, but just go back and work another year or so, get a little bit more experience under your belt, and then come back and apply for directing. Right? I did exactly what those folks told me to do. I applied afterwards, and guess what? I became a director. Now, if these people would have given me this job because of my skin color, I would have went off. So y'all, you're not giving it to me because I am smart and I know what I'm doing and I know how to lead and I know how to actually balance things and budget and all that. Y'all gave it to me because of this stuff that's going on in the world. Right? Oh, we need some black people up here in the directing position, so y'all just gave it to me. That right there within itself will make me feel like this Negro stupid. We just giving it to him only because, you know, we don't want no heat here. You know, I would really be upset, like what Joe Biden did with Kajenti, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God,
well,
yeah.
But in that too, I mean, there are a lot of people in that instance who have been, oh, they're just not giving it to me because I'm black. Where if they gave it to you in that time, even though you had some of these qualities that they were looking for, maybe you hadn't had enough experience. You get in there and you fail because of that. And we've seen that with the college stuff, where they're pushing so many black kids who aren't ready for it because they're coming from shit fucking schools. I'm sorry, I cuss a lot on my show.
No, you good. No, trust me, bro. All the speaking things I've done, don't forget work. I have family of thugs and murders. So, I mean, I don't even notice it.
They come from and we're seeing the black dropout rate for colleges was ridiculous there for a while because the kids weren't ready for it. They were putting them in there because they were black, not because they were ready for these programs, where they should have been going to remedial classes.
And then you go in and you feel like an imposter because you're not exactly prepared for it, and you haven't had the proper skill set or whatever to do the job. That's going to crush you. You're going to be like, these people aren't giving me a job because I'm qualified or because I'm good at this. They're giving it to me because they want my skin tone.
Yes.
And I think that's more damaging to the individual than it is to the company. I mean, you hire incompetent people, they're going to fuck up and ruin your company. But think of the cost it does to somebody's well-being as a person to go in there and know that they're hiring you just because of what you look like.
And then you do fail, and that even hits you worse.
Yeah.
Yes.
You probably could be great for that job. You're just not ready for it yet.
Exactly. And then if you do fail, then the black person, I'm just being real, the black person can try to pull, well, they weren't trying to really train me to do it anyway. They were mad because I'm black and I'm up in this position and they hate to see me there. So they didn't give me the proper training that I really needed to So like I said, it's racism at every level. And this is the system. And then folks are, oh my God. And so that's what I'm saying. Look, I talk about this openly because I'm just real about it. In 2020, I got invited to come to the White House. I got to sit down and talk with Donald Trump and about 45 of us. Yeah. I got it on my channel when I went there and visited. We got to sit down and talk with Donald Trump. We spent about anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour with him. And that was the first time in my entire life that I ever voted in my life. I've never voted. I didn't pay attention to politics, coming out of the hood and got where I'm getting. All I cared about was taking care of my family and staying working and just taking care of business. I was still going around, mentoring, ministering, et cetera, but I never really paid attention to politics. I didn't even care about it. I would tell people all the time, I'm not into politics, I'm into people-tics. So anyway, what I did one time is I was at this speaking event, and I guess there might have been some what's her? Oh, she gonna kill me if I Kayleigh McEnany. That was Donald Trump's. Yeah. Let me see.
Well, you got to meet Kayleigh?
Well, hold on. Let me show you real quick.
Oh, now I'm jealous. I don't care about meeting Donald Trump, but I want to meet Kayleigh. No.
Can y'all see that?
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. Katie McEnany, Ted Cruz.
I'm jealous now, man. She is. Yeah, I love her, and not because she's cute. I'm married, been married a long time. Cute doesn't. Shut up. No, she is funny, and I love that about her.
Yeah. So it caught their attention, and all of a sudden, somebody that was like one of her workers was watching my channel and was like, "Hey, you know, you're a pretty conservative guy." And I kid you guys not, this is still on my channel. I was like, "A what?" She's like, "You're a pretty conservative guy." I'm like, "Okay, whatever that means." I don't even know if that was an insult or what. So I'm like, "What are they talking about?" So then a lot of my subs was like, "Hey, Ty, okay, do you know what the Republicans and the Democrats are?" I'm like, oh, you mean like the donkey and the elephant? They're like, yeah. I'm like, I know of it, but I don't pay any attention to it. I know that they're red and blue. So to me, they're no different than the Bloods and Crips in Chicago. They got their colors and they got their signs. I mean, that's all I went by. And so what I did is I actually took time from my channel and I went and I researched and I studied history for about a good year. And when I did, I came back to my channel just exploding, hitting people with all these facts, you know, from slavery to everything being formed. And when I did that, all of a sudden I get this text that was like, "You are cordially invited to the White House, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, okay, I deleted it, spam. And then I got an email that was like, "You're cordially invited to the White House. You need to respond to it." I'm like, okay, spam. And then all of a sudden they hit I got like 3 other emails, you know, Gmail and Yahoo, AOL and other ones. And all of a sudden those were being hit. So I still like, no, dude, I'm not doing, I know this is some spammy stuff, you know. And so it wasn't until, you guys know who Candace Owens is.
Sure.
Okay. So Candace Owens sent an email and asked me to come to this event that they were doing in Washington, D.C. called Back to Blue. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll come, you know. Mm-hmm. So while I was there on the plane, my phone pinged and said, pretty much, I'm paraphrasing, "You are going to be coming to this event where Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum is going to be, da 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 da. While you're here, we would like to invite you into the White House, da 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 da." I'm like, okay, what? Like, it kind of got scared because, like, how did they know? So go there to this Blexing event, and when we got done doing what we did there, the Secret Service comes up, you know, "Hey, you know, are you Ty Smith, aka known as Modern Renaissance Man? Your YouTube channel is this. You went to high school here. You did this. You did that. You did that. Da 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 da." I'm like, dude, that's crazy. And I'm like, yeah. It was like, well, Mr. Trump would like to speak with you and a few others. So if you could stand over there. So I stood off to the side, whatever. When we went inside, we couldn't have anything because I guess in this particular case, we couldn't have any cameras, any phones. We couldn't take pictures or nothing where we went into this. I don't know. It was somewhere. It wasn't the Oval Office. It was some other room. Mm-hmm. But when we sat down, I'm thinking like, okay, you know, all right. Dude, Donald Trump, I tell people this when I go back to the hood and stuff, and I go and do these speaks. I said, Donald Trump, who y'all thought Donald Trump was and how he talked cordially, like openly, and people hated that. Dude, they would hate Donald Trump how he was talking to us. Donald Trump was straight up gangster. I'm telling you, man. Donald Trump sat down. He was just chilling. You know, he just sat back, relaxed off like this. He was like, "Let me tell you what these stupid mother effers is doing to you guys." Hold on. He was like, "These mother effers out here trying to he's doing all this talking like that." It wasn't his typical, you know, we're out there, we're trying to make sure that it was none of that. Donald Trump was straight gangster, dude, like giving it to us. And what I liked about that is that he told us, he said, what I've done thus far. He said, you guys have an opportunity that Black people will never be able to probably have. And if they do have it, you guys won't be alive for it to be around. He said, Black people have an opportunity right now. You guys are going to have immunity to everything. This is what he told us. He said, you won't be prosecuted for the crimes you're doing. You won't even be accountable for anything you're doing that is wrong, because it's going to be, he said, the deep state is going to create a program. They're going to create a system that's going to absolutely back you guys up, that did you want to be accountable for anything. You'll be able to rob, you'll be able to steal, you'll be able to do all this, and you will not be prosecuted for it. They're going to let you right back out of jail. We sitting here like, wait, what? He said, mark my words. He said, but what I will hope is that during this opportunity, that the ones who are good, he said, now I hope that's you guys in this room. I hope you will go out and educate your community, because now people are opened up. He's like, I opened up the deep state. I opened up what they're doing behind closed doors. People are clearly seeing this, and the Black community is seeing it. So I will hope that you guys will go out there and let them know all the opportunities that they have. I hope you will go out there and educate them on what's really going on, and how actually what this system is doing is reversing to actually keep them oppressed and in the conditions that they're in.
Yeah.
Dude, look at us right now. That was 2020. Look at us right now. People committing crimes and getting right back out of jail. Then during that summer of love, people committing crimes, Kamala Harris then got this fund set up, getting them right back out of jail. You got dumb Black Lives Matter on there talking about, well, the reason why we back in these stores because these are all reparations. She said that right on the TV and and confessed to a crime, saying we breaking these stores because we're getting our reparations. She didn't get arrested. He called it. And I mean, it's a lot of other stuff that he said that was cool, but I mean, that was the main thing that stuck out to me right there. And I just told people that dude is straight gangster, man. I mean,
let me get this real quick. Donald Camp, thank you so much. He says, hi, Monkey. Hi, Jack. Hi, New Not Jack. You're pretty cool. Yeah, people in the chat really, really like you. They're good folks. Donald, I mean, I think he was probably picking up on what we were already seeing at that point. And you're right. It's gotten worse. You were talking about the Lori Lightfoot thing, the shit going on in Chicago right now. Not even kidnapping. We'll catch you later. We'll catch you later. We've seen the bail out there in New York. They changed the bail system. People are getting out and committing worse offenses than what they were originally arrested for.
Yeah, it's unfortunately being adopted in more and more places, and that's going to just keep the crime even higher. It's very dystopian, very much like RoboCop without the cool cyborg.
Man, right? Gotham City.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, real quick, let me grab a Streamlabs here. Thank you, Dixie Rose 63, who says for that feminist donation. By the way, why is black considered a race? Aren't we all human? In order to gain control over people, divide and conquer has always worked. So you segregate people and say those people over there are our enemy. They are different than us, and you can create fear and gain control.
And for the record, it's not just done with race. It's done with sex. It's done with sexuality. Oh, yeah. The biggest one right now is trans, man. If you're trans, you can do anything. Man. Anything.
LGBTQ now, they battling that trans people now.
Yep.
Now, they're coming out and saying, like, look, I don't know, we're not a part of them. Yep. But at first,
they're making a distinction between an activist and trans people because trans activists are some of the worst people on the planet right now.
Absolutely, and grooming kids and stuff.
Yeah,
man. Sick. These grown fat men with fake boobs dancing in front of kids and stuff. That's man. I don't even see how that's not even on the verge of like child sex crimes.
It should be.
Can you imagine if grown men like Chippendales went out there with them big old long socks over their penises and start wiggling it? And can you imagine if they did like at a school assembly?
Well, all they got to do is say they're trans, and they can.
Did you see that new video that came out?
Which one?
Don't know where it was. Robbie Starbuck posted it. Hold on, I got the link right here. I'll drop it in both chats. They have this drag queen dressed up like a mermaid, and a kid is rubbing the costume right next to his junk.
Oh yeah, like was it a mermaid?
Yeah.
The kid, the girl, whoever she was sliding right up the. Like, wait a minute, what is that?
Where are the parents? Like CPS should be involved in that. What the shit?
Yeah,
where are you letting your kid fondle a dude in a mermaid outfit?
Yes, rub the penis like a few times.
Yeah, it's some sick shit, man. I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it.
No, what it is that you got a lot of people that's in legislation. That's another thing that the video that went viral for was I was speaking about them trying to hypersexualize these kids because they have these books out in the 3rd grade and they want kids to be able to understand what sexual consent is and what it means and all that. So now just think about this because I talk about this openly too. Like, we at a time before my mom pretty much left us to fend for ourselves, we had some babysitters and these babysitters, they molested us. They were women. And as a kid, you don't know what's really going on or anything like that. But what I do tell people, now let's be honest, that area called your penis, it has a part on it called the glans penis, or you can call it your head. It has some really good feel-good nerves down there. Yep. So if that area is being stimulated by something and it feels good, and it's been done by older adults, you don't really, as a kid, you don't even understand what's going on. But what you do understand, I'm being real, what you do understand is that it felt good. And so here we are, 9, 10 years old and babysitter females sitting there doing this to me and my brothers. And then, we'll get together, talk about like, did such and such get on top of you and rub? Then my brothers will laugh about like, oh yeah, I told our cousin such and such. He said, that's what makes us a man. So just think now that almost is being encouraged. Now you actually almost are looking forward to the babysitter coming over and getting on top of you and grinding on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I tell them is that now I'm not talking about little girls because that's a different ball game. Because that, you know, when they do things to little girls, that's different because that causes pain when something like that happens. You know, we're not men, we're not being, unless they're sodomized, but men, when women do that to men, to their penis area, you're not getting the same effect that a little girl would. So what ends up happening is that if it feels good, you actually get to a point to where you're looking forward to it. And then what happens is that now it actually unlocks something in you as a kid that should not be getting unlocked until you hit adolescence or something that happens naturally. So now go to school, right? And I tell them myself, I don't care, I'm not embarrassed of it. I go to school and these kids that I'm in school with, little girls, whatever like that, you know, we go behind a tree. I'm trying to grab their butt and stuff like that. And they go and tell on me and I'm confused. I thought that's what they liked, you know, because of, you know, our babysitters, that's what they had us do. They had us touching their butt and saying, you know, this was making you a man and it's making you a big boy. And I'm going to school. And if it's a girl that I like and I'm grabbing her like that, she's telling on me. I'm confused. Like, I don't get what I did that was wrong. And so now you got to tell the teachers, like, why are you touching her? It's like, because that's what makes me a man. Well, who told you that? Well, and then that's when it's like, okay, what's going on at home? You know? So what I'm saying that for is this, to take it back to that little girl that we were talking about on the stage. I said, wow, the fact that she, of all places, she didn't try to touch the legs or touch the little fins on the mermaid man. She groped like and went and then did it again and then did it again. So I'm almost like, well, what has this little girl been around her doing that she actually just wanted to rub there?
Went right for it. Yeah, real quick. Thank you, Alan, for the donation with no message. Yeah, we've talked about that a few times with some of the stories that unfortunately, we cover a lot of stories of, you know, teachers touching kids. And we see more and more of these teachers who are coming out like, we need to talk about them. They got mad about that Florida bill, which just said you can't talk to kids about sex before third grade, or well, before fourth grade, actually, because it was through third grade. And they're like, what do you mean we can't? Why? You should have no reason to be talking to a kindergartner about sex.
Man.
There's no reason.
Like, how would you even want, how can you even get excited about wanting to talk to a kid about that?
Right? But
they're pedos.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of them are. They're showing themselves to be that. And then we have the whole map thing that's coming up. And oh my God,
map. Okay, map. All right.
This stuff angers me.
The only map they should have is the one to the wood chipper.
Yeah, or the map that shows them straight where they're gonna go should they touch a child, to hell.
Yeah.
Right?
Or to the grave. And you think about it, the fact that any of these folks, like right here in Illinois, they avoided me so much, but I'm not going. When I lock on, I lock on. I tell them, who is it that drew up this plan, or have it even in their thought, in their mind, and let it get into their psyche to say, I think third graders should know what it's like to have their penis touched or stimulated, or little girls should learn what it is to masturbate and tell them that it's okay to do that. Little boys should know that if another little girl touches penis area and it feels good, that's called sexual consent. If he likes, why would you want to tell a third grader?
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even let them teach that to my sons. My sons didn't get sexual education in school at all, because I tell them this. I've been around this stuff for so long in my life experience, as y'all can see, and I'm telling y'all some of it. If all of us, I would assume, all of us know how to write, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of us know how to do addition, subtraction, and addition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? We all know how to read, right? How do we learn that? Because what? Somebody taught us.
Yeah.
So when I think about that, I said, this is not education when you're talking about sex, because why? When you taught me how to do math, I actually end up performing it, and then you graded me off of my performance on how much I learned. So wait a minute. When you're talking about sex in school, you are teaching them how to do it. Yeah, that's what you're teaching them, how to do it.
Some of the curriculum guys, and you can look this up, there's some of the curriculums that are going out there that what he was just talking about, literally saying that we should teach little kids, barely out of toddler, kindergartners, how to masturbate. Not what masturbation is, how to do it.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's the disgusting stuff. And again, it's because, just think about this, guys, and everybody that's listening. Why would you want to teach a kid the understanding of what sexual consent is? And in these books, and like I said, I get this Fox News, Newsmax, they all send me these different books and things like that. And even in my the town that I live in right now, the teachers, there's some really good teachers out there that actually, hey, Todd, this is the book that they're trying to, or this is the book that they want to teach to the kids. And the teachers, because of their part of a union and everything, they can't necessarily come out and say nothing because they'll lose their job. Which I was like, I get some of y'all, I get it. Y'all been in it for 15, 20 years. I get it. Well, Ty, I really want to, you know I got it. I'll be y'all voice in this case because I understand what's going on. I got y'all. But in these books, when it's showing like little girls, dude, sucking on another boy's penis, or a boy licking a girl's vaginal area, this is 3rd, 4th, 5th grade curricula that they're putting in there. And you just sit there and think like, okay, wait a minute. You guys want these kids to learn consent. And when you read about what they teach these kids and they're about consent, you want to know why? Because let's just say if a teacher do get caught doing some sexual activity with a little kid, they can sit there and say, well, wait a minute, we have the test scores right here. Your child clearly understood what sexual consent was.
Yep.
And because they understood what sexual consent was, I can't get in trouble because your child understands that sexual consent means it feels good and da-da-da-da-da. So your child actually understood what was going on and they see no problem. Matter of fact, even if they do take the kid to court, can you imagine? And this is sick, man. I'm just saying, don't be surprised if it gets there, folks. Can you imagine a prosecutor going to a little kid and be like, so do you know what sexual consent is? A little kid like, they're like, so when Miss Johnson touched you down there, it felt good, did it? Did you like when Mr. Johnson did it? Were you mad? Your Honor, no further questions. And it's like, what the heck? Because guess what? People like, Todd, it cannot happen that way. Well, wait, it can't, but they let little kids make a decision, get their genitals mutilated. Oh, but they won't, that can't happen. Okay, change my mind.
Yeah, we're talking right now. I mean, the one of the big things going on with the mutilation, they're like, oh, well, they don't do that until they're actually adults. Well, it depends on the place. But what they are happy to do is starting at 12, lop off the breasts of young girls. That's you're letting a 12-year-old make that decision. How can you let the 12-year-old make that decision to permanently alter their body, but then not say that they have the agency to decide to have sex?
Right. Or they can't drink, they can't drive.
Yep.
They can't hold a job, but they shouldn't get their boobs cut off and get their penises cut off or be chemically castrated. They definitely know they know that deep inside that they're the opposite sex of what they were born into.
Yes.
Come on, man.
All right, dude. I have really enjoyed this conversation, and I hope you'd be willing to come back for another one. But we're at the 2-hour mark, and I do have another thing I have to do.
Oh, absolutely. I totally understand that.
But I'm glad to have met you. I like I say, I have seen you before, but the name didn't. I'm horrible with names, just for the record.
Oh no, it's good. You good?
But it was really, really cool talking to you, and I hope you're willing to stop by a couple other times where we could have a much longer, because there's so many things that are going on in the world, and having a guest who's up on all of it is kind of cool, because we talk about this stuff a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I've been doing lately, man. Like I said, my I don't know all the particular names and emails right now, but a lot of my subs would tell me, come and check this out, because there's some other channels like yours that a lot of people are on. And like one thing I don't care about, like a lot, I mean, I don't, as you guys can see, I don't consider myself to be some famous person, but then other people do. Like they see with the speaking events, they see me up there speaking with Kaylee McEnany or Ted Cruz and all that, Alan West, and they put you up on that level. But I'm not. I tell people I'm a normal dude. And so other people that got channels like yours, whatever like that, I told them, hey, y'all let me know if there's other channels out there that's like that. I'll jump on there. I'll subscribe to them. And anytime they have like an open forum or something like that, I'll let them know. I'll jump on there with them. I'll talk about this because, dude, you're going to see YouTube hates this. YouTube don't want these topics and things that we're talking about. YouTube does not want this, nor does the narrative, because what it does is going to show proof that we are more united than we are divided. Because if what I say about this, and I'll leave y'all with this. I've been married for 21 years, right? Now, if a woman is trying to disrupt my marriage, is my marriage divided? You would say no. So that's why I tell people, when y'all saying things like they're trying to divide us, see, the thing is, that's why they're trying to divide us. Why? Because we are united. That's why they got to keep on trying to come up with this stuff. Keep on. That's racist. This racist. Math is racist. English is racist. They're trying to do it because they see that we actually are united on this. And if anybody don't believe that CNN is fake news, bro. I'm serious. All these different news organizations that I've been with, Fox News, Newsmax. Oh wait, dude, I interviewed on some Chinese Tokyo, and I interviewed on Russian news stations about CRT and other stuff like this, right? CNN was the only one that asked me to do an interview, and they gave me a script. They said, Don Lemon is going to ask you these questions, and we want you to answer like this. I said, absolutely not. They said, well, look, we have 30 million people that watch our channel. This can be good for. I said, absolutely not. And that's when I actually told people, I see what Donald Trump means when he said that they're fake news. They're fake, man. And that's all they want to do is push propaganda for this, man. So
I spend about half of my channel time exposing the news media for the garbage that they are. I don't have like that. I didn't even know about that. Don Lemon was giving scripts to his guests.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, is anyone surprised?
No, it makes sense. There's a reason he got demoted, because he sucks.
Yes.
Literally. When he's not wiping ball sweat on people's lips,
that is so gross.
That is a nasty story.
Who does that? Ugh.
Don Lemon.
Sick individuals.
Worst journalist of the year. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you for the donations. You guys are awesome. We love you. Jack, is there anything you'd like to show?
I'll drop a link to one of my most recent videos, but thank you for the donations. Thank you, Alan, for that donation with no message. And thank you, Modern Renaissance Man, for dropping in. It's
absolutely. My last words, I'll just tell people this. Make sure you guys hit the like button, because the like button is saying that you recommend this channel. That's literally, I wish they would change it to that. Instead of it saying a thumbs up, the thumbs up literally means you're telling YouTube, recommend this video. So make sure you guys do that. Everybody, you have a cell phone, most likely they got maybe 5 to 10 contacts in it. Let them know about this channel. Let 5 people know about this channel, okay? It's going to help it out, trust me, because YouTube is definitely going to be trying to pretty much suppress your channel. I can be found on YouTube as Modern Renaissance Man. I'm on Instagram as Modern Renaissance Man. The O in modern is a 0. I'm on Rumble as Modern Renaissance Man. I'm on Twitter as The Real Ty Smith. And I'm on TikTok as Modern Renaissance Man. So, yeah, I'll look forward to having some more discussions with you guys. And I'm also going to let my subs know about this as well. This is the place they can go to and have these open discussions, forums like this. So it can just help keep on spreading this out. So you guys all have a good night. Appreciate it and be blessed.